Greetings, everyone. This is I'm Right.
I'm right.
And I'm Jill Cox Cordova.
I'm Anthony Cordova.
What up, what up, what up?
What do you mean, what's up? I'll tell you what's up.
What's up? I actually said, what up?
Jill, I still love you. I really do love you. I really do. After all of these years, I really do love you.
You say that like you're surprised.
Well,
I love you too, by the way.
Gee, thanks. I appreciate it. No, it's just I think it's just fabulous that we still love each other like when we first started dating.
Aren't we supposed to?
Well, I would think that, I've noticed that in some people's relationships that love seems to
Fade
a little bit. Not go away, but change. Let's put it that way. Change.
Well, I think love always changes, but hopefully it's for the better. Like hopefully the love gets stronger, hopefully. And if it doesn't, then maybe it shouldn't. Like maybe you shouldn't be with that person.
Well, no, I don't. No, I don't believe that.
But
anyway, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do this week?
Well, since you're talking about love and all that lovey-dovey stuff, we could talk about Valentine's Day.
Okay,
that's our episode. It's part of a segment that we call "Stand by Your Stance." So, if our listeners are listening to this on Monday, it is Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. So for us, I think that, talk about changes. I think the way we celebrate Valentine's Day has changed.
Yes, definitely. Because, in the beginning, I remember I used to on like Valentine's Day and like Christmas and something like that, I would buy you like all of these bath oils and soaps and stuff.
You only did that once.
I did it more than once. I did it several times. And then it took you like 10 years before you told me you didn't like that.
That's not true. You noticed it when I sold my house. And that was only 6 months later.
That was
after we got married.
I was remodeling listeners. I was remodeling Jill's house so we could put it up for sale, and I went in the bathroom and I saw like all of these baskets of.
It looked nice.
No, it didn't look nice. They were dusty and everything.
Well,
they had dust all over. You haven't even opened them. I was like, oh my God. Why didn't she tell me she didn't like these things? What kind of mess was that?
Well, it was the thought that counted. You wanted to get me something you thought was nice.
Yeah.
And it was nice.
It's not to you. It wasn't.
It just wasn't what I was into. That's all.
Not to you. No, not.
So now what do you do? Tell the listeners. I know what you do for Valentine's Day, but now what do you do?
Well, I guess over the years, things have changed. So I used to, on Valentine's Day, might write a poem for you.
Yeah, I missed that. You should write a poem now. Come on, freestyle a poem for me.
No, thank you. I would write a poem for you and things like that. And then I stopped.
I know. Why did you stop? Because I did appreciate that.
It's not because
I did like those poems.
It's not because I love you any less.
Mm-hmm.
It's because of when we wrote our vows to each other. I start thinking about it.
Wait, you think that because you basically did spoken word for your vows, right?
Yes.
And you think that because I didn't that you don't I don't deserve more poetry.
Well, listen. I'm listening. Listen, Jill.
I'm listening.
Listen. Starting our marriage off, our marriage And you said, I think we should write our own vows.
Because we're
And
writers.
and that's what you said. I said, "Oh, Jill, come on. I don't want to do it." You said, "But we're writers. We're writers. We have to write our vows." So I'm like, "Okay." And I got right on it. I mean, I got right on it. It took me, I don't know, maybe 5 days to write it or something. I don't remember. But it wasn't quick, quick. It wasn't quick, quick, quick.
Do you know
So
what all I had going
so no,
on?
I don't. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking about writing vows. So
I'm talking
writing
about writing vows too.
writing
Because
vows,
listeners,
writing
I
vows.
I moved into your house.
Uh,
I
uh, uh,
got
uh,
married
uh,
and
uh,
I changed jobs all like 11 days before the wedding. So no, vows were
uh,
like, "Oh my gosh."
but
Like
it
the
was
night before I was like,
look.
"Oh my gosh. I haven't
That,
written the vows yet."
that's right. That's right. But it wouldn't have bothered me if it wasn't your suggestion. If it was my suggestion that we write vows and then, with planning a wedding and all of that, you didn't really have time to do it. I would be like, yeah, okay. All I did was put more stuff on you, another job. You have preparation you have to do for our wedding. So,
Then
but
why didn't you
I didn't
consider that?
suggest that.
But
I didn't suggest that we
Tony,
write
but you
vows.
know that
So,
I always have great ideas and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and I'm going to do this. And then I realize I've put too much on myself. You know that about me. So
absolutely.
why can't you give me the same consideration for that?
Because you suggested that we write
But
vows.
I often have suggestions and I often have too much that I've given myself to
Well, but
do.
see, we were just getting married then.
But you still knew me.
I didn't know that on a regular basis you just add to the list of things you have to do or want to do.
Right.
You just keep adding
I
adding
do.
stuff.
I do.
So see, it
So
wasn't
something's got to
as
give.
it wasn't as clear to me then as it is now. See, like now I will say, Jill, you're adding to your list. Maybe you should slow down a little bit or stop. But you don't stop putting stuff on your list. You keep adding it. But you
I've
may
gotten
not.
better.
You may not give it the priority you used to.
Right.
So that's good. So
Well, on our
anyway,
anniversary, we're going to
anyway,
read our vows because I still
anyway.
feel that my vows were heartfelt. They may not have been polished like yours, but my
Listen.
vows were still heartfelt and sincere.
Listen,
So you
listeners.
should have enjoyed that I did
Listeners,
that.
I wrote this poem that went on for like 5 minutes. I do love you on good days and bad days when you can't move from bed. 1 pound up, 1 pound down, feeling broke down. I do love you. See, now I spent a lot of time working on this long poem.
Which was beautiful. Everybody loved it. I did
And
too.
and listeners, this is what I got in return. Tony, I love you. The end.
That is not true. Not true. Not true. And even if that were true, you should have loved that I said that. But that's not true. On our anniversary, we're going to read our vows to our listeners, and they'll see that yours is more polished, but I still said more than I love you.
Yeah, I love you.
So
You know I love you. So
this is why I don't get poems for Valentine's Day anymore. You're holding that as a grudge.
Well, see, unlike you, I know which things are going to, that I sometimes don't have the time to do, and I want to devote the time to write something for you.
You
That's
wrote a whole book of
amazing.
poetry, 2 books of poetry, and you don't have time to write one poem for Valentine's Day for me?
Jill, we have a lot of stuff to do, a lot of stuff. You know how involved we are with our new project that's coming up. That's hush hush. We have a new project coming up. You know how hard I've been working at this to get everything ready. So
Yes.
so yeah. So anyway, listeners,
but we did still do something.
Yes. Well, we want to get. We never did finish about how it's changed. So no longer do we like
no longer
try to
does
go.
Tony write me poetry.
anyway, Jill. Anyway, so but now we've gotten after all of these years, we'll give her, we'll exchange cards.
Not this year.
No,
No,
why not?
because we did something different.
Don't you love me anymore?
I do.
You're not even going to get me a card?
But we already did
Not
our
even
Valentine's Day celebration.
not even a card?
We already did our Valentine's Day celebration.
You mean I'm not even worth a card?
That's not equating your
And
value.
and listeners, for our listeners that have ever received a card from Jill, you know how her cards are. She might as well buy blank cards because she usually writes something really heartfelt on the inside of these cards. And they're amazing. And I always look forward to that.
So if I put in a card, "Dear Tony, I love you," that's okay?
No, not from you. No.
That's what I'll do.
No, not from you. And it doesn't even have to be a card. You can just, write something on a piece of paper and give it to me. But it's
Well,
always
since COVID, I've been into homemade cards.
Yeah. So anyway, listeners, and I'm sure our listeners that been in a relationship for a long time, a committed relationship, have noticed that the way they celebrate Valentine's Day and actually holidays in general has probably changed.
But you still
over the
didn't
years.
let us talk about what we did do for Valentine's Day.
Well, Jill, not yet.
Why?
Not yet.
Why?
Because you owe me some type of card or to write something for Valentine's Day. This is what I've grown to expect.
Huh?
Yes.
But we did ourselves. I said, this year, Tony, let's do the thing that you're not wanting me to say yet.
Yes, we
did. And we did it.
We did it before.
That's me saying, this is what we're going to do this year for Valentine's Day. Most of the time, you don't even care about Valentine's Day. You don't even know what's coming up. None of that.
This is true. And this is how I am for most holidays. But I always know if it's my birthday or if it's Valentine's Day, I'm going to get something like a card from you that you have written inside the card, something that's very touching. So you're saying I'm not going to get that this year?
I wasn't planning on it, but I can still do it.
You are breaking my heart for Valentine's Day. I'm gonna like I'm just gonna have a broken heart. I'm like reach into my chest and pull out my heart, and you'll see it's broken into two pieces.
Why? We still spent. We had a Valentine's Day celebration. Why is that not good enough?
It's good, but obviously I cherish what you write more.
Says the man who no longer writes me poetry.
I'm working on other projects. I'm working on other projects.
Think I am?
I'm working on other projects.
You don't think I am?
I got others. I'm working on other projects.
You think I'm just sitting around doing nothing every day?
But here's the deal, Jill. Over the years, how many love type, heart on the sleeve type things have I written?
Well, you stopped.
Very few. Very few. And
that's what made me feel special because you mostly wrote about, dark and depressing things about society. Yes. So when you wrote like love poems, I felt special.
I understand that, but they're very difficult for me to write.
No, they're not.
How do you? I told you it took me like 5 days or a week to write our vows.
Sometimes it takes people longer. Like you could, zippity zip.
And some people it takes less,
zip,
like
zip,
you.
As you would say.
You did it zippity zip the night before.
I don't write poetry.
So okay, now I'll leave that alone for now. But yes, Valentine's Day has changed over the years for us. Doesn't mean I love you any less. Uh,
Same.
okay, so what? So
Same.
what
And
did we
and
do this
listeners should
year?
also know that I've never been like a flower person.
Yeah, because I've
Like
sent you
you
flowers
sent, and I
before,
appreciated them.
and
They're very pretty, but flowers die, especially around me. It's kind of with that ride or die,
yeah,
thing that I don't like.
yeah. I did I ever send any flowers to you at work?
Oh, you knew better. I definitely don't like that. Like, why? You know where I live. Why send them to work?
But some people like that. They like for everyone else to see that
I'm a very
their
private.
loved
Believe
one
it or
is
not, I'm a
thinking
private person.
about
Not
them.
everybody needs to know stuff
Yeah,
like
as
that.
you say that while we're doing a podcast.
Well, you forced me to do this podcast. Was not my idea for sure.
Okay. Well, you're the one not saying what we did. I'm giving that to you. What
Oh,
did
I
we
finally
do?
get to say.
Yes.
So, we're
We're you've
members.
forgotten already.
No, I was trying to figure out how I wanted to say it. We're members of the High Museum in Atlanta, and they got the Obama's portraits exhibit. So we went to the High and looked at the. Well, that wasn't the only exhibit we looked at the High, but we saw the portraits and looked at other parts of the museum that we hadn't seen yet,
Yeah,
or exhibits.
it was
And then
really
we
nice.
went to one of our favorite
Well,
restaurants
but
for dinner.
you're skipping a part. You're skipping. Why are you leaving stuff out? Why are you leaving
What did
stuff
I
out?
leave out?
Well, as we left out, it was a beautiful day, by the way, and it was up
Yes,
in the
in the
60s
60s,
and
very nice weather,
really
sunny.
really nice. Yeah. But instead of just leaving, we took a seat. Remember?
Took a seat.
We sat down in some chairs.
Oh, outside.
Outside,
Oh,
yes.
you're talking about after we left the
After we
exhibit.
left, yes.
Oh, I
And
thought you meant when on our way, but we didn't do anything on the way.
no.
So after the High, after we saw the exhibits we wanted to see, yes, the High has outdoor seating.
And
So
big umbrellas and stuff.
yes, but our umbrella was not up. We just sat
Yes,
down.
it was.
No, we didn't sit under an umbrella.
Yes, we sat under the shadow of an umbrella because I moved the seats special.
But
so
they weren't under the umbrella.
we
Well,
were under
anyway.
the shadow of the umbrella because of where the sun was in the sky. It created a shadow
The sun was in the
that was
sky.
on. The sun was in the sky. Okay, and it wasn't, and the shadow was over us.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't understand why we spent so much time on that, but okay. So we sat down and we people watched, which is a favorite
Yeah, that
we like to do.
That was very,
as writers. But you wouldn't play the game with me. I wanted to say what I thought the situation was for people around us, and you didn't want to play.
No, we usually do play that game, but I didn't want to play that. I wanted it to be about us.
So we people watched
So
for a while.
We did people watch, and yeah.
And then, interestingly, the people that were in the elevator on the way to the exhibit were in the elevator
with
on
us
our way out. When everybody was leaving. So that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, but I really did enjoy getting out and seeing different people and interacting with some people, and I just like to see it was just a lovely event. Everybody was nice and kind and smiling. Everybody was in a good mood.
Yes.
Except that one man in the parking garage wasn't in a good mood.
What man?
The one that was on the phone.
Oh, yes. Yes.
He was not in a good mood. So
we were in our car, and he looked like he was headed to a car, and he was on the phone yelling at somebody, and also his face just clearly showed he was mad about something.
He is mad about something, I don't know, but he was the only angry person that we saw or heard of that whole day. So
That's true.
that was cool. And
And then
then
we went to one of our favorite restaurants to eat,
we did.
which was nice.
Yeah, it was.
And then we had donuts after that.
Yeah, yeah. Donuts. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so all was good. Simple, easy, Valentine's Day celebration.
Yes.
Just
Except you still want a handwritten card.
that's what you do. But see, that's the thing. That's what you do.
But
It's
don't
not
you
like
want something to
I never
it's
asked for that. I never
no,
asked for
that's
that.
true. You
And but
never
that's
asked for
what you
that.
do. And that means more to me than going out to eat,
But
going
don't you think
someplace.
that sometimes, especially if the person never asked for that you can switch it up every now and then? You don't
Eh,
it's
look,
not that I don't want to give you
look,
a
look,
card.
look, look,
It's that I've
look.
done it so many times. I like surprising you with stuff. I like doing things differently.
If you did it once or twice and then it didn't happen again, then I would say, yeah, well, okay.
But the
But
last
you
thing
do it every year.
But the last thing that I want to do is be normal and predictable. I don't like those two adjectives. So I don't want to be predictable. But you're telling me that I am, so I'm switching it up.
Jill,
Yes.
you not only write these little notes to me, these little things, but you write them to other people, friends, and things like that.
Sometimes, not everybody.
And it's
Some
like
people get
you
the
bring
regular card that you get at the store and I mail it.
yes, but when you do write these things that you write, it like brings them to tears.
I'm not trying to make people
But
cry
it's so
though.
touching. It's so touching. So touching. But you know what? No pressure, Jill. No pressure. No pressure at all. If you don't enjoy doing it, it's
It's not that I don't
here's a
enjoy
thing.
it. I just don't
Here,
want to be predictable. I want to
here's
do things differently. What's
uh,
wrong with that?
you shouldn't be purposely unpredictable just for the unpredictablelessness of it.
I'm not.
That's what you're saying. That is what you're saying. That's what you're saying. See, so I think that oh bless you, you sneezed.
Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, we need a delay. I could have turned your mic off. I should have done that. I knew it was coming.
Oh well.
But no. Look, I have a thing. And I have a saying. I say, if there's something I enjoy doing, if it begins to feel like work, I stop. I will stop doing
It
that
doesn't
thing.
feel like work. I just sometimes I want to do something different.
Okay.
It's still about what I want to do for someone else.
All right. All right. So I won't look for a card. I won't look for you to write something to me. I won't. No pressure. I don't want to put that on you. If you wish to be unpredictable and not do things the way you have done them in the past, I can respect that. I can. I can. I can.
Will you?
Of course. I love you. And I love you, Jill. So it's okay.
You didn't even like Valentine's Day when I met you.
I still don't really care for it. It doesn't matter to me. But the only thing I liked more than anything else was what you wrote.
Well,
I have
maybe I'll be
every
so unpredictable that I'll give it to you. I'll write something to you like Wednesday. So a day that's not Valentine's Day. Because
okay.
you're certainly not expecting it then.
No.
Because, that's why many people don't like Valentine's Day. It's like, why is there one day dedicated to love when every day should be dedicated to love?
And I don't believe at least for us and I know we agree on this. We don't have to spend a bunch of money on each other on
Nope.
Valentine's Day. For me, it's just like senseless.
Yes.
That for me.
Yes, because you show me that you love me every day. You do.
Oh, that's good. How do I do that?
You tell me. You spend time with me.
Uh-huh.
You want to talk to me.
Yeah, I do want to talk to you. The only time I have a hard time talking to you is like when you're hyped up on caffeine or something.
That's because I'm speaking fast and don't give you a chance to say anything. Yeah, caffeine really does things to me.
But yeah, I still enjoy talking to you.
Well, that's good since we have a podcast where we talk to each other.
Yeah, it's a good thing. But if I wonder what our podcast would be like if we didn't like to speak to each other.
Oh,
we should.
It would be drama. It would be a reality show.
We should make that an episode.
No.
Yes.
No.
It's coming.
No.
We're gonna make an episode.
We need to move to our second
This
segment.
is what it's like when
that
you
we
don't
call
Give it a rest and a resolution.
Second segment.
Second segment.
Conclusion. Resolution.
Conclusion and resolution. I always thought that was that segment was like, do we need that segment? I know I've said this before and asked
We
this
can
before.
get rid of it in the future, in the near future.
Something different.
Yeah.
And not do the same thing.
Yeah, unpredictable. See?
Unpredictable.
See, you get it now. But what's your conclusion? Resolution, since we do have it today?
When it comes to holidays, no pressure. Simple. No pressure. Don't make it a thing that you feel pressured to do. Isn't that good enough?
Maybe. I have to think about that because, like, for some people, Valentine's Day, especially, is very important to them.
But if it is, I would think you need to do it in a way where there's no pressure. If you make it an unpleasant thing because you feel some type of pressure to do this, like you said you didn't want to have to write something on Valentine's Day. So that would be me putting pressure on you to write something. So through this podcast, I've realized that no pressure. Maybe I should not put pressure on you to write this when you don't want to write something to me.
Well, my conclusion is a cliche. Better
Dun dun dun.
Better to give than to receive. Let's move on to our third.
Please.
Let's move on to our third segment that we call
I'm trying to help you.
Advice.
Okay, well, yours was simple. Mine is really.
I didn't give advice.
Well, I'm talking about your conclusion. So, my advice is love, 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 love. Done.
Well, I'm going to pick up on that and say every day, not just one day. Like Valentine's Day is set up to be.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's get to our last segment that we call.
So,
what do you think? What do you think?
Because I'm right.
Because I'm right. Okay. We would like to hear from you and find out, what did you do for Valentine's Day? And has it changed since you've been in your relationship? And please give us a call or a text at 404-594-2247.
And I'm especially interested in hearing from people who are single and maybe not in a relationship. Do you still go out and celebrate with your friends and things like that? I used to.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that concludes this episode.
I think so.
You've been listening to I'm Right.
I'm right.
I'm Jill Cox Cordova.
I'm Anthony Cordova.
Shout out to Gifford Ivan Cordova III for the music, Nick Zinke for the art, and to our listeners.
Hey, listeners.
Hey.
And for Valentine's Day, as I say after every episode, I love you all.
I love you all too.
All right, this is a wrap.
I love you.
Love. All right.
All right.
All right, let's wrap this up,
Bye.
Jill. Bye-bye.